And it's already time for mod number 2. Not to say that mod number 1 actually stuck around too long, but it will be back at some point. But mod number 2 actually has a bit more purpose than just deleting a muffler and making more sound. It is actually a very important modification on modern turbo cars, and it's a necessity part to start planning for the future of this little tiny 1.6 liter. So with that said, I am finally getting around to installing Buster's Mishimoto catch can onto this engine some which way. I still haven't looked much into it, but from what I've read, this right here, see how this looks like this, and then there's a hose coming from the top here? Evidently, this is a built-in oil separator, which is really cool. The fact that more manufacturers don't do this is beyond me. Maybe they are starting to do it now. That only goes to this line here, and this line, if you trace it, goes back here, goes down there, that way, and then right down before the throttle body. I have no clue why they have one there right before the throttle body. And then this one here, your typical like valve cover breather line going to the air inlet as well. I mean, it's the same part of the induction system. It's on the vacuum side of things. Usually there's also a boost line somewhere, and perhaps there is. I just don't know where the hell it is. But as far as the aftermarket's concerned, and at this point in time, they know a lot more about this engine than I do. This is where they plug a catch can into, is this line right here, which would be super simple. So with that, a little bit of engineering involved, only because the catch can itself is completely universal. The mounting of the catch can is what's going to be the challenge for this. As in, I don't know where to put it. I would love to keep it as close to here as possible, but there's nowhere to put it over here. It looks like any good mounting source would be over here somewhere. So, we're gonna have to take a look at that when the time comes. But with that said, in order to even get started with things, I need to go ahead and, this is all gotta get torn apart. And this thing needs to be cleaned. I haven't cleaned this catch can since putting it on Buster. 3 years ago, 2 years ago, however long it's been. Probably not the best thing. I mean, it still worked. It still collected crap tons of oil. But now is time, especially before I put it on the new cars. So I gotta start getting some of this existing hose off. I don't think I'm gonna reuse any of this, because I'm just gonna go with a nice, clean OEM look on this car. Not trying to go with the braided hosing or anything, and I just want it to look like it belongs. I really need to get a full set of Allen wrenches. Oh, what are you gonna do? See, a lot of these fittings I'm not using again because they're threaded Allen fittings. I just need to get some barbed fittings to put in here. Just going simple, old school, you know, just some rubber hose and clamps. Nothing crazy. Alright, let's see. How does it look inside? Oh, yeah, it's grody. So, I mean, I have wiped this out, but this whole top piece is actually serviceable. There's another type of filter up there, too, that needs to be cleaned out periodically, which obviously has never been done. Grody. Really grody. Alright. Oh yeah, that's pretty much it. And for the most part, I thought I had some brake cleaner laying around, but it seems like I never ever have brake cleaner when I need it. When I do have it, I use it, and then I never get more. I need to start buying that stuff like by the cases, man. But I'm just going to kind of just get the bulk oil off here then with a rag. Should be wearing gloves, but, you know, coulda, shoulda, woulda. Alright, let's see here. Ooh, okay. Yeah, now it's time. This thing is beyond gross. Time to get the Sonic cleaner up and running here. Oh yeah, I really love this thing. It's like one of the best tools I've ever had. A little bit of the greaser. Alright, let's get this thing warming up here. At some point, I would love to get a larger ultrasonic cleaner. And even though they've gotten so much more affordable, they're still expensive. I mean, I think I paid like, what, $70 just for this little thing? The bigger ones where you can kind of fit some larger parts in are like almost 200, and then really nice size ones are 300-400, you know? Like, dang, man. But they are awesome tools for sure. While I'm waiting for the water to warm up, I'm gonna go ahead and take a look at the bracket here that holds the catch can. See if I can figure a good place to put this. Obviously, I'm pretty limited where I can put it. Had I had a special bracket that like mounted on here, or use any other existing mounting holes and made a holding spot here, well, I don't think it can go there, but somewhere, you know. I also have to be mindful because how the catch can mounts, you know, it's like this. It's not like you can bolt it that way. Yeah, I see nothing, man. I don't know. I guess I'm gonna have to reference again where the aftermarket ones are mounted, how they have them mounted. And I'm just gonna have to try my best to replicate it. Whatever, you win some, you lose some, right? Seems like I've been losing a whole lot lately. Alright, let's see here. Oh yeah, that's nice and toasty. So go ahead and give everything a nice dip. Oh yeah. Clean these pieces up too before I put them away. So we're gonna put our lid back on and we're gonna continue to cook this for another 30 to 45 minutes, or until the internal temperature is 165 degrees. Okie dokie, I think we're all done here. Let's take a look. It looks disgusting, and that can only mean one thing. Oh yeah, that's some nasty stuff in there, yep. Shoo-wee. Alright. Let's get everything good wiped down here. Still residual oil all over the place, but it's a lot better than it was. 100. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. Cool. I got a filter all cleaned up here. Come on, get in there, man. There we go. Cool. I'm gonna have to start my own catch cleaning service. Go ahead, send me all your catch cans. I'm gonna clean them up, charge you $59.99 an hour. It takes me approximately 3 hours to do, and that's because I'm gonna spend 2 hours scratching my balls and another hour acting like I'm actually doing some work. By the time it's all said and done, you'll have a nice, clean catch can. So while the catch can was cooking, I went online and looked and see kind of what was going on with the aftermarket stuff. One of the popular brands has a mount that goes right here. It uses these two existing bolts that just holds this bracket on for this coolant line and this harness. And it just reuse them, and it goes down there and it holds the catch can right here. So I'm like, hey, that's not a bad idea. So I looked around and found this little piece of metal bracket that I've used on and off for various things. So I'm like, I wonder if that would work. And lo and behold, that looks like it might work. Now the only thing here that I'm concerned about is hood clearance. So I'm going to need to just put it on temporarily, see if the hood clears, because if it does, then awesome. Get on. Ooh, that thing was really on there. Oh, no. Well, could have gone without that happening. So I got it on here, and it's not super snug, but I kind of got it adjusted where I think it'll work. I could use a little bit of an angle adjustment there. Let's make sure it's level. I just want to make sure that this clears the hood where it's at. I mean, it looks like it does. It looks like it will. There's only one way to find out. Oh, see. Ooh. Ooh. I think it'll work. Man, I think that's gonna work. I mean, it's close. It is very close. Maybe if anything, I can try to angle it down just a little bit more. I think we're in business. So now I just got to get the can put on so I can kind of figure out the routing of the hoses. Oh, this was an unforeseen issue. the ring on the catch can won't allow me to mount this in a direction that's going to work. Because it ends up, either way you go, it ends up putting these this way. Right there would be great, because then this hose can go that way, and then that one can come down right through here. But it's going to require me drilling into the mountain. I did not want to have to do that. Man, I tell you, it's always one step forward, 5 steps back when you're working on cars. Holy crap. Oh, and I wonder why I have so much gray hair in my 30s. Good God. Don't ever work on cars. Just don't do it. Okay, all the whining aside, I just need to, I guess I'm gonna have to. Now I do have an option. I have this cheaper catch can over here that it works. I just don't think it works as good. I don't think it's as effective as the Mishimoto. That's why I'm using the Mishimoto, and the Mishimoto does look a bit nicer. But the ring on this one, you can adjust it however you want, so you can clock it however you want. The Mishimoto, I think they make a ring like that. Even though this part is universal, this bracket was specifically made for EcoBoost Mustang mounting. And I'm not buying a freaking bracket. But the only problem with this mounting ring is it's very thin. As you can see, it's already kind of like bent. Do I drill into the Mishimoto one? Or, you know, I think that's the route I'm going to go. To do this the way I need to do it, I think that's just how I'm going to have to do it. So let me get to making a mess here. Here we are. It's not my proudest work. Then again, not much really is. It is effective, and I think this will do the trick. Let's sneak this back up in here and see how everything looks. Cool. It's a little bouncy. It's just a good shock absorber. I mean, that shaking should help mix things up and keep everything separated. Now the lines. Basically, this line, I might be able to just, seems pretty bendable. Just pull it off here, twist it around, sneak it. Can it get under there? Maybe. I don't know. I'm gonna have to remove this cover. Sneak it under the manifold. I don't know if it's gonna have enough room or enough length to go under the manifold. I mean, it can go over the manifold. And then the outlet here, of course, just goes right there. As per usual, I got halfway done and I discovered I have a new problem. I don't have a hose long enough to go from here to here. I've been looking at this. I'm just, you know, this is kind of sloppy. Does it work? Yes, absolutely. I feel like it can definitely be done cleaner. Like if I could just run this here and over here under the manifold and sneak it back up, like right here, that'd look a lot cleaner. And this line can go here, maybe down behind the throttle body, like, and then come back up. So I just need some tubing. I need probably 3 feet or so I can try to reroute this a little bit nicer, you know, like it's already half-assed enough as it is. Yeah, I don't want to continue half-assing it, trying to make it somewhat nice. Sure, I guess gotta take a trip to the parts store. Oh, my favorite place, place where I spend money that I don't have. Man, look at that, the sun is already setting. I have been busting my ears getting stuff done. I had to go to the hardware store and to the parts store to get what I needed to finish this, and I'm actually really happy how this turned out. So let's take a look. Doesn't look like much, and that's what I wanted. Now unfortunately the bracket did get kind of bent up a little bit, so it is kind of sticking up on this side a little bit and got scratched on the top. But I made it where, look, it is perfectly level with the radiator cover, and it just sits so much nicer. I end up getting a thicker, stronger bracket that went there just fine. This way it's not bouncing around like it was. It's much more stable. I got a line running here to the inlet, and then my outlet going back to factory location. I even put some of the sheathing over the tubing just because it's touching some hot stuff here and there. but that really pulls it together because factory lines already have that sheathing, so it just makes it look OEM plus, and that was kind of what I was going for. So I am super happy how this came out. Of course, I can still get to it pretty easy to drain it and whatnot, so that is awesome. I like how that turned out. I was doubting myself there for a minute. I wasn't sure how it was going to end, but thankfully it ended better than the last time I tried working on this car. So that's good. I'm feeling real good about myself. Got my hands dirty and I'm proud. I saved myself a lot of money just now, not having to buy a specific catch can for this car, reusing what I've already have. And actually, speaking of reusing, I think I need to check these out too. So these are strut tower caps from Buster, and man, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. That's like it was made to go there. Now, of course, I don't know if the hood will clear it. I'm gonna have to mess with that another day. If the hood does clear these, I'm just gonna have to throw them on there, because why the hell not? If I can save myself money and reuse a lot of these parts that's just taking up space, that's a win-win, man. I'm just really happy at how this turned out. Is it the best? No, but it is good enough. This is SEMA show quality, and if it's good for SEMA, it's good for me, and that's all that's important. But otherwise, that's gonna wrap it up here for this project, this video. Until the next part arrives, be sure to give it a thumbs up, share with everyone you know. If you want to see more content like this and you haven't already, go ahead, subscribe to the channel, keep a lookout for next Karz Created video.